the arrival of the Tulsa Roughnecks, professional soccer is back in town. Dr. Sean Riley from Tulsa Spine and Rehab is the official team chiropractor. Congratulations on that. How did that come about?
Thank you so much. It's something I'm really excited about. I was approached 2 months ago by Vice President of Marketing and Public Relations over there, and David Irving is the coach. He's an English guy. He's been out in Wilmington for the past, I think, 13 years. And I was a little surprised that he had a good relationship with the team chiro out there. And he actually approached my buddy Rob on, do you know of anyone here in town? Rob reached out to me, and I said, absolutely. I've got a bit of a history of soccer. I used to be a player as well, had an opportunity to play in college. It's just something I've always been really passionate about. And it's kind of neat to see, how Tulsa has evolved. We had spoken previously about you being from St. Louis, and that's another great soccer city. And Tulsa's done a really good job of, more importantly, developing the youth player programs and so forth. And so now there are multiple different clubs with really, really good coaches here in Tulsa. And the kids have access to, some good programs. They do a lot of traveling. And so I think it's going to be really good for the city. They're playing down at One Oak Field, which is the ballpark where the Drillers play, who are now an affiliate for the LA Dodgers. So they've got 23 kids. This is their first year. Saturday was the opening night against Oklahoma City. They pulled a draw 1-1, which was a really neat atmosphere. I think it was a sellout, like 8,500 people. So it was a really, really neat situation. There's a little bit of history there with the Roughnecks as well. So from I'm 42, born in 73. 1978 through 1984, we had the original Tulsa Roughnecks here. And so that was part of my childhood, going to those ball games, playing or being coached by the likes of Alan Woodward and Charlie Mitchell and Victor Moreland and a lot of those guys that are actually still in town. So it's neat for Tulsa. It's good for the community. I think it's going to be exciting. They're partnering up with a lot of the different youth programs. And then I have the opportunity to work on these guys. It's going to be a neat situation. We worked on our first couple players last week. We work on a lot of athletes here at Tulsa Spine and Rehab, a lot of cyclists, runners, golfers. We've spoken about that in the past. And so it's a lot of similar type injuries, a lot of muscle strains and sprains, a lot of kind of general low back pain. A lot of these guys have tightness throughout their hip flexors and so forth. These guys it's typically a lot of just overuse. They're training a lot. They get a little dinged up, a little sore. Occasionally we'll treat a specific type injury. They've got a good relationship with Hillcrest and a local orthopedist here as well. So I'm just happy to be part of the team.
What happens, you're talking about some of the stresses on the body that are sort of specific to soccer. I mean, heading the ball and your neck region, that sort of thing. Is that also an area of concern?
Absolutely. We've spoken with Holly Thompson, who's one of the physical therapists here in the clinic, and she actually specializes in concussions and those types of injuries. So it's well known. I mean, you can research a lot of different concussion-related type of injuries in soccer. Years ago, just like with most sports, that it was never really spoke about. So a lot of concussions, that's something we're seeing. And as you mentioned, a lot of trauma and stress being put on the neck from heading the ball. And then what I spoke about earlier, a lot of general hamstring type strains, hip flexors, quadriceps, those types of injuries, ankle, plantar fasciitis, Achilles. So a whole wide variety of injuries that we'll be able to treat.
And so the soccer season, at least for the Roughnecks, runs through early spring to when?
Yeah, till next fall. There's 24 teams in the league, so it's the USL. And what the majority of the teams are feeders now into the MLS, which is the Major League Soccer, the big deal here in the States. And so what they're essentially trying to do is create farm clubs for, the Dallas, Seattle, Salt Lake, Houston, Kansas City, all these major markets. And I was really surprised. Like I said, there's 24 teams in the league. I think there's like 24, 25 games, and it runs all the way through next September. And I believe that we have 14 home games here in Tulsa. So it's going to give a lot of the folks here in town an opportunity to get out and watch some good quality soccer.
You don't have to play soccer professionally to experience the aches and pains that come with playing. Check in with Dr. Riley and his team of professionals at Tulsa Spine and Rehab to see how they can help you. 918-743-3737.